Coming up on Business Report Africa, ICPC recovers more than $900,000 from federal high court registrars. Coinbase files to go public on Nasdaq. Egypt's intent on attracting U.S. investments and world stock markets climb on Powell's reassurance. Details on this and more right after the break. This is Business Report Africa, brought to you by your digital First Pan-African News Network, TOS TV. I am Ruel Penao. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences ICPC has secured the final forfeiture of over $900,000 kept in an interest-yielding bank account by some court staff in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Now, while acting on a petition for violation of the ICPC Act 2000, the money, which according to the Commission was the sum of confiscated value and sold vessel hidden in a bank account, was uncovered from 3 respondents, including the Chief Registrar and the Deputy Registrar of the Federal High Court. Justice Mohammed Sani of the Federal High Court, Port Harcourt, granted the prayers of the prosecutors who filed an ex parte motion for an interim order of forfeiture in November 2020, pending the concluding hearing of the case. He ordered Port Harcourt Station Roads Union Bank branch to pay the money into the federal government's treasury single account because the ICPC had placed sufficient evidence before the court to justify seizure of the money. The Director General of the National Automotive Design and Development Council, NADDC, Mr. Jelani Aliyu, has said that the investment attracted into Nigeria's automotive industry in 2019 alone is not less than $1 billion. He made this clear at the opening of a 2-day investigative hearing at the instance of an ad hoc committee of the House of Representatives done to investigate the financial, budgetary approvals and multilateral donations on skills acquisition and related programs of the federal government and its agencies. Mr. Aliyu stated to the panel that the NAADC has been able to attract investment into Nigeria and is now at advanced stages of discussion with Zenith, Wema and Jaiz banks to provide single audit auto financing for vehicles made in Nigeria. As soon as the necessary approval is given, Nigerians will be able to put down 10%, drive off with a new car made in Nigeria and expand full payment over 5 years. On Thursday, February 2015, Coinbase filed to go public, brought it closer to being listed on the National Association of Securities Dealers Automated Quotations, NASDAQ, after a review that it had swung into profit in 2020 as Bitcoin soared. Coinbase noted that it had not yet received approval from regulators to allow it trade cryptocurrencies classified as securities in the US because cryptocurrencies other than Bitcoin are yet to be classified as commodities or securities. The US Securities and Exchange Commission's approval would serve as a huge step of victory for cryptocurrency advocates who have struggled to normalize the sector and win trust, paved the way for the first share listing of a cryptocurrency-based business, and serve as regulatory approval of assets traded on the platform. The filing, which provides the first detailed look at Coinbase's finances, showed that in 2020, the company pulled in total revenue of up to $1.3 billion, up from $533.7 million in 2019. Swinging from a loss of $30.4 million, it reported revenue of $322.3 million. Then certain factors such as the date it plans to list shares on Nasdaq or the price of its stock trading on private markets have not been listed yet. The board of Nation Media Group in Nairobi, Kenya, proposed to shareholders the purchase of up to 10% of the company's issued and paid up share capital in a buyback program. Until the Companies Act 2015 took effect, these share buybacks, which refer to the repurchasing of shares by the same company that issued them, was not seen as normal in Kenya, as they usually leave shareholders with greater stake in a company. The company has seen its share price fall from 307.27 Kenyan shillings in April 2013 to 13.40 Kenyan shillings as at Wednesday, February 24, 2021. Now, over the past 5 years, the firm's earnings have declined by 27.8% per year. In response to this, the company has made moves, which includes an aggressive digitization push. There's more coming up on Business Report Africa. I will be back after the short break. Egyptian Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli gave instructions on Thursday, February 25th, for 500 million Egyptian pounds to be allocated as compensations to owners of buildings being demolished to expand the ring road connecting Greater Cairo neighborhoods. According to the Deputy Cairo Governor Ghihane Abdelmonem, these buildings are 913 total, and those to be compensated include 1,380 families, 296 shop owners, and 136 workshop owners in Basatin neighborhood. The road, which is to be widened to include 78 lanes, should have been concluded in the previous year, but delays happened as a result of the need to identify the buildings that must be demolished and the owners who had to be compensated. During the special virtual briefings webinar, Egypt 2021 and Beyond, which was organized by the American Chamber of Commerce in Egypt and the U.S.-Egypt Business Council, Egypt's Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli said Egypt looks forward to attracting more U.S. direct investments. In June 2020, the total U.S. investments recorded in Egypt were around $30 billion. This, according to the minister, was because the current volume of public investments only maintains the status quo and could not sustain the long term, as the private sector is the main driver of growth. He placed emphasis on the fact that Egypt and the U.S. share a relationship wrapped around economic growth. Now, while commending the banking system in Egypt for holding strong against the COVID-19 pandemic, Myron Brilliant, the executive vice president and head of international affairs at the American Chamber of Commerce, revealed that the institution will launch a social impact forum on the 10th of March as a way to show the organization's dedication to real impact in Egypt. Mining giant Gold Fields has been given the go-ahead to develop a 40-megawatt solar plant in Western Area, South Africa. Nick Holland, Gold Fields CEO, said the plant would increase reliability and affordability of power supply to South Deep and enhance the mine's long-term sustainability. The National Energy Regulator of South Africa, NERSA, granted license to GFI Joint Venture Holdings and Gold Fields to develop the facility on the mine's South Deep operation, and the other solar plant is expected to provide 20% of the South Deep Gold's mine average electricity consumption, as this will enable the mine to reduce carbon emissions. In 2020, Gwede Mantashe, Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy, granted approval for deviation from the Integrated Resource Plan for self-generation projects of any capacity. This would allow Eskom room to address operational issues at its power plants, as it had been implementing load shedding due to unexpected breakdowns at its power stations, thus putting more strain on the already struggling South African economy. And to wrap this up, on Thursday, February 25th, world stock markets advanced after U.S. Federal Reserve Chief Jerome Hayden Powell downplayed interest hike concerns. This made traders more open to the positive vaccine developments. Approaching the halfway stage in Europe, Frankfurt stocks were up to 0.1%, Paris added 0.4%, and London stocks pulled the highest with 0.5%. The European single currency rose against the dollar, and oil prices briefly hit fresh 13-month peaks on keen demand. Asian equities ran ahead as well, even though traders were mindful of certain factors, and Wall Street jumped overnight. Expert analyst Craig Erlam said that while Jeremy Powell had said just enough to keep investors on board, it is necessary to note that the nervousness that caused stock markets to stall could quite easily creep back in. Thank you for watching Business Report Africa. Do follow us on social media at TOS TV Network on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at TOS TV Network. I am Ruel Panawo. See you tomorrow.